Hello, guys, and welcome back to the FPL Duo. We're back for another stream, and it is the transfer tips video for game week 30. It's not a double game week, so I'm going to take that off the title. Yeah, double game week 29 is still ongoing. Liverpool playing Chelsea, which we're going to be watching in a bit. But yeah, we're going to talk about game week 30 in this video. So how you doing, Jordan? Everything good?
Yeah, everything's good. Football's on the way this week. There's been a lot of fixtures this week, so yeah, looking forward to them.
Yep, a lot of games to go still for this double game week 29. But let's talk about gaming 30 and bring up our first buy, sell, hold, and ignore for this game week. So first up as a buy for game week 30, and that is Erling Haaland. Currently, as of now, Erling Haaland is still, we don't have any news on him whether he's actually fit for gaming 30, but this is on the assumption that he is fit. So if we hear Erling Haaland is fit, we believe he is a buy for sure, because in gaming 30, he's got Southampton away. It's a very nice fixture for captaincy. He's going to be, a good option for that game. And a Man City coming off the back of a 4-1 win against Liverpool, looking very good. And that was without Haaland. So Haaland coming back into the team should fit straight back in against Southampton. And if he's fit to start, he's definitely a buy, because, 28 goals in 26 appearances so far this season. It's just ridiculous. So yeah, not really much to discuss on this one. If he's fit, then you definitely want him in your team as a captaincy option as well. What's your view on Haaland anyway, Jordan?
Yeah, it all depends really on what the current situation is for Haaland, as we don't know yet. As we know from before, it was a groin injury, and that's why he didn't play in that last game. So yeah, it's all up to whether he's fit enough to play in game week 30 onwards. So yeah, if he is, obviously he's a buy, because we all want Haaland back, as it will be an important captaincy once he has returned. And with the 28 goals behind him, just proves that he's the player that you must have in your team when he's fit.
Yeah, it will be quite scary to go without Haaland in gaming 30, I think, if he's fit, especially against Southampton, who are struggling right now. Let's move on to the second player on the list as a buy, and that is his teammate, Jack Grealish. Now, we've put Jack Grealish on this list as a buy because obviously his performance against Liverpool, I thought he was very good. I think that was probably his best performance in a Manchester City shirt since joining the club. He's had 22 appearances so far this season, 4 goals and the 5 assists. He's got a very nice fixture against Southampton away. Then he's got Leicester, and then he's got the blank, obviously. But if you have the free hit, then that shouldn't be a worry. Then he's got Arsenal, and he's got a very nice double game week as well in 34. And I think Grealish is a very nice differential pick. We wanted to be a bit different this week and select someone that isn't highly owned. So his ownership's only 2.3%. And, off the back of that performance against Liverpool with the goal and the assist, I think Jack Grealish could be a very good buy. We know Foden's still out, so Grealish should have that left-hand side covered for now. And if I was taking a punt on a Man City player, I think Grealish could be a very interesting pick against Southampton, and especially in game week 34. He's still far away, but want to think about Grealish. I think he's looking good now, and I thought since the World Cup, he's been looking very good for Man City. And yeah, I think he's a buy potentially if you want to be a bit different. What's your take on it? Did you catch the game, Jordan? Obviously, Liverpool, Man City. Grealish was very good in that one.
Yeah, he was very heavily involved in that game, made such a massive impact starting in that game. And I think Pep was really happy with him when he did get substituted off. They did have a one-to-one little session together, whispering in each other's ears, probably saying, well done, good job, and glad that you are now returning and back on form. So it is good upside positivity from the manager and player relationship between Grealish and Pep. So it does look like he has built confidence to obviously use Grealish more often, especially now with Foden out for at least 5 weeks from his appendicitis. Makes Grealish even more of an appealing player to go for, especially with his low ownership and cheap price as well. He'll make a great asset if he is to play as well in that double game week in 34.
Yep. Let's move on to some players that we think you could be looking to offload ahead of game week 30. First one as a sell is Saliba. This one's quite obvious. He's got tough fixtures, but that's not the point anyway. He's injured, so he will miss Liverpool, West Ham, Southampton as well, probably. I don't know how long he's out. I heard like 5 or 6 weeks. So um, Saliba, if you've got him in your team, 24% of you do. He's an easy sell due to injury. And yeah, that's one that you could take out your team and look to buy someone else for sure. Let's move on to the next player that's a sell. I'll let you take this one, Jordan. Almiron. Um, what's your take on Almiron? Newcastle, obviously, they did win on the weekend, but obviously Almiron's injured as well, isn't he? So
Yeah, similar to Saliba, he's out injured Almiron. He was only watching from the stands in the last game that Newcastle did have. So yeah, this is another obvious sell to get offload injured players, as you really don't want to have a lot of exclamation marks or players in your team like Almiron, because he is 15% owned still. So there is a lot of you still that have Almiron in your team. So he will be the priority, I would say, transfer, as he is out for a few weeks from his injury. And yeah, probably for someone else, obviously, that may potentially has a double and doesn't blank 32 as a replacement. But yeah, Amron is an easy sell.
let's move on to some players that we should be looking to hold. First one up, and that is Tony. Now, Tony is currently undergoing double game week 29. He plays tomorrow night against Manchester United away. So we have to see what Tony does tomorrow against Man United. So this one is still of a wait and see. He could easily be a sell if he gets a yellow card tomorrow. So it's hard to. We just put him now because as of now he's still a hold. But if he gets a yellow card tomorrow, of course he's an easy sell. But I think if he avoids the yellow card against Man United tomorrow night and he returns and he plays well, then I think you could look to keep Tony for the fixtures coming up. Newcastle in 30, Wolves in 31, Aston Villa in 32, then Chelsea and Forest as well. So the fixtures aren't actually that bad. Brentford are scoring goals. Obviously, the yellow card is the only worry, but assuming he avoids the yellow card, I'd be looking to still hold on to him. He's got 17 goals this season, which is very, very nice return from him. 4 assists as well. He's having going about his business very low key and having a good season. So I'd definitely be holding Tony unless he gets the yellow card, obviously. What's your take on it, Jordan?
Yeah, despite the controversy of Tony and other such incidents, he's had a great season so far. He's literally ignored all what's been going on in his personal life and literally storming through the Premier League with 17 goals and 4 assists so far. He's been a great asset if you've owned him from the very beginning, because he has returned pretty much a lot throughout the season. Yes, he's had the few blanks here and there, but overall, he's been a great addition in terms of forward positions as well. We were lacking with forwards last season. Now we were spoiled for choice, like with Tony. But nonetheless, similar to the reasoning being the yellow card and all, he is a hold for now. And obviously that won't change unless he does get yellow card. And obviously he does change into a sell, because he will be suspended if he gets one more.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Let's move on to another hold. This is another player that we think you could be looking to keep for another week. And that is Marcus Rashford. Now, Rashford has actually been transferred out by some managers, but his ownership is still very high, 52% of you owning him. So, we know Rashford had a disappointing game against Newcastle on the weekend. Didn't really create many chances. Man United didn't really have any shots on target, for being honest. But I still believe Rashford is a hold, regardless of that performance against Newcastle, because if you look at his fixtures, obviously we'll wait and see how Rashford plays tomorrow night against Brentford. But then after that, Everton are at home, gaming 30. Everton have picked up a bit of form. Defensively, they look a lot stronger. So maybe that isn't as big of a easy game for Rashford, Everton at home, but it's a home fixture for Rashford, and you'd expect him to, do quite well in that one. He's got 14 goals as well so far this season. So Rashford is on form still this season. Nottingham Forest away in gaming 31 looks nice. Obviously, 32 is a blank, so you're not going to have to navigate that with a free hit potentially. He's got Tottenham in gaming 33. And then you look at gaming 34, double gaming 34. is the main reason why I'd be looking to hold Rashford probably till the end of the season because of that price point, 7.3 million. There's not many other better assets, I believe, at that price. And because he has a double in 34, I would be hesitant of getting rid of him. And also, I think he doubles again in 37 or 36. So I wouldn't be getting rid of Rashford at all, even though he did blank. I think he could return in the next two. And then, yeah, the doubles for me make him an easy hold. What's your opinion on it?
Yeah, definitely. Rashford is a hold player. It'd be very dangerous to get rid of Rashford, especially with his ownership being over 50%. And for the price he is, I say that's pretty much a bargain at 7.3 million. And with the form Rashford's been in with 14 goals, 3 assists, even though he had a very tough time against Newcastle away, that's literally down to Newcastle's home form being so amazing. Only Liverpool really have beaten Newcastle, I think, this season at home, and no other team has really managed to do that. So it was a mammoth of a task, and it probably literally put people off, obviously, from the transfers that have been going out for Rashford as the ownership has dropped for him. But yeah, he's definitely a hold for these next two fixtures that Man United do have. They would want to win these next two because obviously Tottenham are now third in the table, and we're now fourth. So we need to get
And
these three.
Tottenham are fourth. I think United are fifth now, actually. United are out the top four as it stands.
Oh, that's it. Yeah, my mistake. Yeah, Man United now. So we're in a dire state, Man United, to get these points now. Otherwise, we will lose out on the top four.
Hmm. But yeah, fixtures look pretty good next to at least. So I think he's an easy hold. Let's move on to players that we should be looking to ignore ahead of game week 30. So the first one on the list as an ignore, which may surprise a few of you, because obviously Martinelli's had a great season so far with 29 appearances and 13 goals, 3 assists. But the reason why he is an ignore for us is because in game week 30, I know this might not be a popular opinion because obviously Liverpool aren't playing well at all. Just been thumped 4-1 by Man City, and they play again tonight. So we'll have to wait and see how Liverpool do. But because it is an away game for Martinelli, Liverpool do tend to play better at home. They actually have a good home record so far this season. It's the away form which is very, very bad. So you look at Liverpool, and then he's got West Ham in game week 31. Game week 32, if you've got a free hit, you shouldn't really worry. You could just bring him back in if you really want him on a free hit. Game week 33, he's got Man City at home, which is a tough game. Obviously, Man City and Man City and Arsenal going for the league. So that ain't going to be an easy game for Martinelli and Arsenal. So I think there won't be high scoring in that sense. So that's the reasoning why I think he could be an ignore still. And then Chelsea in 34. And on top of that is the fact that Arsenal don't have any more double game weeks coming up, whereas Man United, Brighton, even Liverpool in game week 34 that double. And I'd rather have a double game week player than Martinelli with single game week fixtures that are quite tough on paper. So the reasoning is literally because he doesn't have any doubles, and I'd prefer a doubler over Martinelli. That includes even Saka and Odegaard, etc. All these players, I'd rather have the doubler. What's your take on it in terms of Arsenal's fixtures, Jordan? Because there's a few red fixtures in there. Can you see them? I mean, you might see it differently. You could probably see them winning most of those. I think they could have a few slip-ups in those next 5.
Yeah, it's getting tougher now for Arsenal, especially when it gets to game week 33. That would be a very interesting game against Man City at home. And then after that, Chelsea, game week 34. Very important games that Arsenal must win if they are to stay in the top place and for the title. But yeah, it is going to be, I'll say, the goals will most likely drop off for Arsenal when the fixtures do turn for them, as they will be harder teams to score against. And as we've seen, not all the goals always come from Martinelli each game. They could come from Odegaard or Saka. So unless you have the players already, I think you're best to ignore them for the current moment. I mean, unless you have them already. I mean, there's no real point bringing an Arsenal player in now like Martinelli, as there is higher priorities of bringing in double game week players and etc. Those with better fixtures. And with Arsenal's current fixtures at the moment, it is a mixed bunch.
Yeah, look, they may go ahead and win all those games because the way they're playing right now, you can't put it past them. But just trying to play the fixtures, and also if you want doublers, then Arsenal is a team that don't have any left. But yeah, let's move on to the final ignore, and that is his teammate Gabriel. Now, Gabriel has been transferred in by a lot of managers as well on the FPL website. When I was looking at the stats, 3 goals from Gabriel, so he has scored quite a few goals so far this season for a defender. But similar to Martinelli, he's an ignore for me as well, an easy ignore, because again, I don't see many clean sheets in the next 5 games. I can see Liverpool scoring. I could even see West Ham scoring. I definitely see Man City scoring, Chelsea even. So in the next 5, maybe 1 clean sheet, maybe 2. So yeah, I think Arsenal defenders, you probably don't want to be bringing them in now ahead of that run. And again, no doubles. So for me, it's an easy ignore Arsenal defenders right now. There's no point bringing them in, just because of the fixtures and the double game week situation again. So yeah, anything else you like to add on that, Jordan? Or
yeah, that's very much. We've always said we mostly like to go for the Arsenal attackers, as there's more upside to going for them as in terms of returns. And for the current moment, there's not many clean sheets I can really see either from Gabriel or any Arsenal defender, as we pretty much want to bring in another defender who has better fixtures, and sleep missing as well is a massive thing for Arsenal. And considering Leeds conceded as well to Arsenal as well, that shows that any team, even the ones that we don't expect it to, can wipe a clean sheet out.
Yeah, of course, Leeds did score in there against Arsenal in the 4-1, wasn't it? The 3-1.
Yeah, 4-1.
Yeah, so yeah, I don't see many clean sheets for Arsenal in the next 5. So that's for me an easy ignore. So let's quickly recap again. So the 2 buys are Haaland and Grealish. You should sell Saliba and Almiron. You should hold on to Tony and Rashford, and you should ignore Martinelli and Gabriel. So those are the 8 players. Let us know in the comments what you think of our picks. Do you agree with them? Do you disagree with them? Let us know in the chat. Also, if you are just joining in, make sure you do smash that like button, and also make sure you are subscribed to our YouTube channel for more FPL content. And yeah, make sure you subscribe so don't miss out on anything when we go live as well. So make sure you like as well the stream. But we're going to take a few more comments, and then we're going to wrap the stream up. We're not going to keep this one too long. But yeah, Fads says Barnes to shine, not Maddison today. Yeah, there are other fixtures today, isn't there?
Yeah.
Obviously, the big one, obviously Liverpool and Chelsea, which we'll be watching. But Leicester do play Aston Villa tonight. So yeah, we're going to be watching, seeing what happens in those games. Obviously, a lot of you did bring in Maddison last minute. Even Barnes, Leeds and Forest playing tonight, as well as Bournemouth and Brighton, which I'll have a close eye on, as I do have triple Brighton, and I have Solly March captain. So I'm going to be interested to see what Solly March can do tonight, and hopefully he can get a return. Salah benched when I got him in for a -4. Yeah, very very big surprise. I say a shock. Salah has actually been benched in a game where he's actually fit to start. I don't know why that is. I thought Salah was very good very good. I say he was probably one of Liverpool's better players against Man City. So I don't know if it's Klopp making an example of the squad, just dropping all the big players. I don't know, but yeah, it is a bit of a surprise. But unfortunately, for those that did bring him in, I was going to bring him in. Kind of maybe glad I didn't now, but he did score in the first match against City. So you still got something. You still made your hit back in that sense, but. Yeah, hopefully for you, he can come on anyway. I do believe he'll come on, but yeah, it is a surprise that he's not starting. Who to get in, Kane or Haaland? I'd want Haaland. If I had to pick one of them this week, I'd pick Haaland just because of the captaincy. I'd probably want to captain Haaland if he's fit, but as again, with a caveat, if he's fit, because we don't know exactly as of now because it's midweek and there's still a long way to go before the weekend. Is Jesus a good option, Jordan?
I've actually thought of this because no one's really talked about Jesus as an option, but and this is totally biased to what we've spoken about with Arsenal assets, but I do think he is a good option, honestly. Now that he's back fit, he did score 2 goals as well in that Leeds game, so he's firing all pistons back again, like he hasn't been missing for many months. But yeah, I think he's a good option and one to look out for, definitely.
I mean, for me right now, probably not. I think there's other strikers I'd want ahead of Jesus, but I don't think he's a bad option. But again, you look at the fixtures; they are, whether you think Arsenal are in amazing form or not. I don't see many goals in those games. Some of those games, especially the ones against City, even Liverpool. I don't see Arsenal scoring 4 or 5 against Liverpool. And Chelsea, I've just sacked Potter, so we don't know what type of form Chelsea are going to be in now, whether they get a new manager bounce, etc. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see. Jesus, obviously he scored a penalty, so that's interesting to see. Obviously Saka wasn't on the pitch though, so he's probably not the penalty taker because Saka usually has penalty duties. But I'd rather bring in maybe different types of players. I think Tony, for me, is still a hold for now until he gets the yellow. I think Isak is a good option. I do like Isak as an option with Newcastle's fixtures turning to quite nice now. And obviously Newcastle have a double game week to come soon to be arranged, I believe. Brighton obviously have if you want Ferguson or someone like that. Yeah, for me, probably not on Jesus, not as keen on him, but yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how he fits in again with it. But he's looking good.
Yeah, I think when in blank game week 32, when Haaland does blank, you could potentially go on a 1 week punt for Jesus in that one as a single game week player.
Oh yeah, definitely on a free hit. Because I'm going to be on a free hit, I could definitely look to bring him in and then take him back out, obviously after. So on a free hit, definitely could be a good option, or a differential option as well, because a lot of us have sold him now. No one really has Jesus. So yeah, they want to keep an eye out on a free hit. I think Jesus will always start, and you can't say that about Haaland. Well, Haaland will always start if he's fit. That's the question, if he's fit, and we don't really know that yet. And look, if Haaland's fit, then he definitely will be coming into my team because he's probably going to be my captain against Southampton. But yeah, I think those are pretty much the questions for today. We are going to, I think, wrap it up here. It's been kept this stream quite short. But yeah, we're going to go watch Liverpool against Chelsea kicking off in about half an hour, which should be a good game. There is other games on, as always. Going to keep an eye out on those for FPL reasons. We're back again for a stream on Thursday. So make sure you are joining in on Thursday because it's going to be an interesting stream because we're going to talk about, the points that we get from today. So hopefully Solly March has done a madness and we could talk about that on Thursday on the team selection video for Gameweek 30. And as always, on Saturday for the deadline stream, we'll be there as always. So that's it from us. That's it from the FPL Duo. If you haven't already, make sure you smash that like button and you are subscribed to our YouTube channel. Please do your best to get us to 800 subscribers. That's the next target. But for now, that is it from us. Anything else you want to add, Jordan?
Just take care. Enjoy the rest of the double game at 29, guys. Hopefully it's going well for you, and hopefully it goes well for you tonight. And we'll see you Thursday for the team selection for Game Week 30.
Thank you, and see you guys soon.